Hi everyone, this is Corey and you're on the Soul Seekers Tarot channel. Welcome to the channel and welcome to your reading. So we're going to be looking at the question, will this problem or situation you're in that I'm currently facing have a favorable solution for you, for me, in the next 30, 60, or 120 days. I'll read it again. Will this problem or situation I'm currently facing have a favorable solution for me in the next 30, 60, or 120 days? So I could easily pull out the yes-no tarot deck or oracle, which I will be, but we're going to find look at some of the content first. From these three categories here, we've got relationships, work, career, or money. So whatever problem or situation you're facing right now, it's going to be in one of these three categories of your life. So relationships can be any relationship. It could be a friend, it could be a family relationship, it could be a co-worker relationship, it could be a romantic relationship, or any other, however you would define your relationship that you're challenged with or struggling with right now, that there's a problem that needs to be resolved. The work career, well, that's just your job, your work you're doing. That's career-related problem or situation. And so it might be something on the job that is a problem for you. It might be changes in your roles and duties. That might be a problem or be a situation for you that you're struggling with. Or, either you could have lost, or you're getting laid off, or you're resigning, or something that has to do with your work or career. Your career may not be taken off the way you had hoped it would after all the education and training and work experience you've had. Anything really. So it could even be like the health benefits that you expected to get after working 30 or 60 days on the job that are just not there, or they're going to be too expensive for you, something. Okay, then money, it's money, right? Money, if feeling that you have too much of it, or too much of it, right? Or too little, or, not enough, or, their problem is that you've got to, suddenly, your air conditioning system went out and now you've got to put out $15,000. Where do you get the money from? How's that situation going to be resolved for you? Okay, if, within the, not how, but within the next 30, 60, or 120 days. Okay, that's what we're looking at. How will this problem or situation you're currently facing have a favorable solution for you in the next 30, 60, or 120 days? So without further ado, let's have a look. I don't have any other way really that's reasonable. So for you to choose a category, but this might help you with the zodiac signs, but you don't have to go this route at all. Okay, so if your zodiac sign shows up in relationships, or you've got a career issue, then go with the career issue, whether your zodiac sign shows up under it or not. Okay? Yeah, so relationships, we've got Aquarius and Virgo for your zodiac signs, and Gemini and Cancer. Okay, and for work career, we have Scorpio and Libra, and Sagittarius and Pisces. And then for money, we have Leo and Taurus, and Capricorn. Look at all these are all the goats, or the bulls and stuff. Capricorn and Aries with a cat. Yeah. So just as a caveat, if you don't have if you can't think of a career, or a problem or a situation right off the bat, you might want to go with your zodiac sign, so that when we do the reading, it might just kind of start developing in your mind that, oh yeah, I do or I have had a problem or a situation with that I've kind of like, you haven't been thinking about it too much, and that's a good thing. Okay, so this is what we've got for you right now to choose from. Relationships, work or career for pile number 2, and money for pile number 3. Okay, and I'll be back with you right away. Hi, pile number 1. Let's begin your reading. You've chosen the pile about relationships. So again, as I mentioned in the intro, it can be any kind of relationship that you have. It could be romantic, it could be family, friendship, co-worker, whatever type of relationship that's on your mind that you might be struggling with right now, challenged with, that you need to find a solution, a favorable solution, of course. And these are the decks I've chosen for this particular pile. So let's get started. I always like to pull the Major Arcana first and find out what Major Arcana has to say. All right. I wanted this one for some reason, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, that's going in your favor, right? The Wheel of Destiny is turning in your favor. This is the tarot deck. I hadn't pulled out yet. Let's see what we can clarify for the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, there's 2 of them. All right, so we've got 7 of Swords. Wow. And the Moon. Okay. There has been some deception that you just have not been able to see clearly or get a good footing on as to what the deception is about. You just know there's something, like intuitively knowing that there's something something's just not being said. Someone's holding something back from you. Something's being secretly kept from you. People may be talking behind your back. Someone's talking behind your back, or someone has said something that you've learned through the grapevine, through others, kind of thing, and you just can't see that this person that you're looking at this reading about, it would actually say or do something like that about you. And so you want to get things cleared up. Basically, is what you want to do. You want to be able to see the wheels in motion with respect to clearing up any kind of deception and unclarity, obscurity or anything that's not clear. Okay? Yeah. All right. So that's the first bit. Let's talk about this one here. What we got going on here? This tarot deck. It's an insight one. So it's an opportunity to practice acceptance and letting go. Okay, so there's something that has been bothering you, and maybe the relationship's important enough to kind of let it go and accept it as it is. Because it might be something you just can't change. Really can't change. And we have Earth, which is, it says here, persistence, patience, and practicality. Okay, those are Earth, very grounded kind of energies. We've got the Lenormand. So that's why I say it might be something that you can't change, because something that's grounded, that's like something that might be practical, where you might need to either be persistent about facing it or having patience. It could be something that this person is, the relationship you're in could be something like an example of someone who is just so practical that they don't have much of a imagination, and you might be the type of person who, like, for example, I'm a Sagittarius, my husband's Capricorn. Yeah, that's kind of like, we're like 2 opposite sides of the coin, and so as I look through the lens of curiosity and hope for change and fun, basically hope for spontaneity and fun, whereas my husband, he looks through the lens of, is it practical, black and white, and it's not about fun for them, it's about, can it be done, is it doable? And so we have the fish here. Card number 34, which always reminds me of the Holy Spirit. Card number 34 with the fish. You know, don't lead men to fish, teach them how to fish. Don't give them a fish, teach them how to fish, right? The fish is all about abundance and prosperity. Okay, in the Sacred Feminine Wisdom Oracle, let's see what she has to say. Listen to the song of the birds. I have the book to read a little bit about that, why that card says that. And then we have True Love Oracle. It's a new deck. Newly out deck. Oh, we got two of them. We have Feel Joy and the Moon. So, yeah. Feel Joy says, embrace the lightness and bliss of life. Feel joy. Focus on joy, laughter, and appreciation in the present moment. Yeah, that's like Sagittarian here. And the moon, let's say, pay attention to your dreams and subconscious. The moon, a time to trust your intuition and explore the hidden aspects of your life. So you're somebody who has, you have intuitive hits. You recognize that. Maybe it's something that you really are familiar with. It's your intuition. It might be somebody like that. But you might be with somebody who's so grounded in 3D on the physical plane that they get intuitive hits too, but they don't see it the same way. They don't trust it maybe, or they don't take it seriously. Yeah, I just thought, it'd be like something. Yeah, I just had a strange thought. I had a thought like, we should just go for coffee. And you're in the middle of making dinner, well, we're making dinner, right? That's you say, you're the one with the spontaneity. We're making dinner, right? We're going to be eating right away. And he says, yeah, I get that. I realize that. I obviously don't want to go for coffee right now because I'm eating. I'm going to be eating right away. It's dinner time, after all. And you say then, well, doesn't mean we can't go for coffee after we eat dinner. And then your person says, yeah, well, I guess that's true, but then it'll be time, won't it be time, wash up, get the kids into bed and go to bed because it's work tomorrow. And you're saying like, okay, we don't have to spend 2 hours out for coffee, just go for a quick one, 15, 20 minutes out to the bookstore and let's go have a coffee at the bookstore just to get out, we've been in all day. And your person saying, yeah, that it might be nice to do that, but it all depends what time we get done with everything here, with eating and dishes and the kids. Kids, can we get a babysitter if you have kids? But if there's no kids, eating and dinner and just getting ready for the work day tomorrow. Yeah, it's kind of a flimsy example, but that's kind of what I'm talking about. All right, so listen to the song of the birds. See, I just about forgot that. Listen to the song of the birds. Let's see. Is this alphabetical? Might be. Yeah, it looks like it is. That's nice when it's alphabetical. Listen to the song of the birds. Okay, so we have, listen, grandchild. You're being sung to. Can you hear them? Turn off your distractions and take a moment to listen to the natural world. Your ears have been blessed with the ability to receive beautiful messages for you. Isn't that interesting? We're talking about intuition, right? Maybe you're the practical one. It says, hundreds of different birds pass into your neighborhood every day. Take notice. Did you know that bird song heals you? Bird song heals you. Have you noticed that when you feel a certain emotion, a specific bird will arrive to help transmute that feeling? The energy, right? Watch for them, listen to them. Like all great musicians and all gifted healers, birds use vibrations to create a change in their surroundings. Get to know their songs and ask them to teach you what you need to know. The birds are your relations, and it's interesting because we're talking about relationships here. The birds are your relations, and they love you. Honor them with your attention. So they're kind of like the ancestors, right, that have gone on before us. They come back in the form of a bird or a butterfly or a dragonfly, something like that. That is very, interesting. So you might actually be the one who is, oh, and by the way, so sorry, I forgot the darn zodiac signs. So what we got here is Virgo, Gemini, Aquarius, and Cancer. So that's if you have one of these signs. Remember, if you couldn't think of a situation that you might be having a problem with, that needs to you need to find a favorable solution for, just choose your zodiac sign if it was for relationships, work, career, or money, and go with that and see how that works out. Even by listening to that and it still doesn't ring any bells for you, it might ring a bell, like you might get an intuitive hit to actually, well, maybe I'll check out work and career, that kind of thing. So the idea is to not to shut your ears to down to messages, hearing things like that. It's interesting that I had that example about your person having this thought, you should go for coffee, or I should go for coffee, or we should go for coffee. And it was at the time when you'd just be getting to make dinner. And so wasn't appropriate to go for coffee now because you've got things frying on the stove and, whatever you're doing for dinner. So, it's interesting that maybe it's you, pile number one, who is the practical one, the one who is very 3D oriented. But that would make me wonder why you're actually watching a tarot card reading. If maybe you are trying to open up more and discover the hidden parts, the hidden realms, right? Our hidden realms. Maybe that's what you're trying to do. And so that's why you're at tarot, to see if any of this really does ring true for you. Okay? So I definitely wouldn't question it to the point where I say, well, you can't possibly be the one who is the one that's so down to earth that you're not as spontaneous as many other zodiac signs are. And we got Virgo right here, which is an earth sign. Okay, so but we have Gemini and Aquarius. I'm not sure. I really don't know what they are, so I'll just never mind that. But anyways, listen to the song of the birds. Be more open to the messages from your ancestors who show up in form, like the bird, the butterfly, and so forth. And so it might be that things are unclear to you. There's a relationship that you're with somebody who is very open, and they live the mystery of life. They speak a whole nother language than you, right? Because they have trust, they have faith, they have intuition. They're talking about spiritual growth, and they're talking about maybe things like twin flame relationships and being on a spiritual path and a journey, and Mother Earth or Gaia and the universe being God, and I don't know, whatever else, right? That you're, signs and synchronicities, things that you really haven't taken much into consideration. Now, the roles can be reversed, so maybe you are the person who's open here. But I'm going to read it as though it's somebody who is trying to open up more, and you've come to tarot to find out what you can do about your relationship with somebody who you are challenged to understand their ways. Like they're more spontaneous, more maybe what appears to be irresponsible ways, more selfish looking ways. Because people who are developing their spiritual muscles, they learn to start loving themselves, and loving themselves to other people who don't understand it looks like it's selfishness or a self-interest, and it's not, of course. It's learning to love yourself, the one that's within you, not the ego one. You love that one too, but you're going to allow your soul to love that part of you. So it's kind of like there's three energies here. There's the ego, there's the soul, and then there's this other one. This is all-encompassing one. But there really isn't. There's just the ego and the soul. In reality, there's just soul. But in any case, you are going to allow your ego to open up to the teachings of the soul. And then the soul, in turn, will teach you how to love yourself, the ego self. Okay, that makes sense? And so that's what you do, is you get in touch with your soul self, make it your friend, your best friend, and then it helps teach you how to love those parts of yourself. The ego part, the fears, the fears that you want to transmute, like the sacred feminine message said. You want to give those over to the birds to help transmute that energy. And so they can teach you to do that because they're already been there, done that, what you're trying to do right now. Okay, so there is a lot of mystery with the Seven of Swords. There's a lot of mystery that you don't understand. It seems like with your person, the relationship that you're in, maybe they seem mysterious, or they keep secrets. They might be someone who keeps secrets, and like the secrets of the universe, right? That they won't even share with you because they might be looking at you as though you wouldn't understand anyways, nor would you be interested. So they keep kind of that things to themselves. But what happens is that they turn to like-minded people, and it's possible that they've struck up relationships with like-minded people who have who kind of think on the same vein and it's kind of aligned with, so that they have someone to really bounce ideas off and share all these mystic experiences that we have for people who are really in touch with their souls, with the universe being a spiritual, let's say, educational platform. Yeah. So the moon is that, the fears that you have about maybe they are, or that you've been pushing them to because you haven't understood them, that maybe they are spending a little bit too much time, if you get my drift, with somebody who is on the same page with that person. And you might see it whenever they're together. Like if you're all out to go for coffee or dinner or something, you might see how they have such a great rapport. And you might be wanting to wish that was you and your person instead of your person and this other person. So yeah, the idea is that you're being asked to embrace the lightness and bliss. And I know with my husband, who's a Capricorn, I mean, he's better now after all the years we've been together, but let me tell you, is a serious dude. Really, really serious. And I always say, you have no sense of aha, ha ha ha. You have no sense of ha ha. And because I would say something, I laugh at my own stupid jokes, stuff like that, and some of them are actually quite funny. Believe it or not. And the ones that are quite funny are the ones that I don't expect. I didn't want, I wasn't trying to be funny. I found that out about quite a long time ago. But I can say some pretty funny things, and I didn't mean it to be funny, but other people just burst out, just burst out laughing. Bust out laughing, yeah. So anyways, this is obviously something that has really have been like a cloak of darkness for you, because you are kind of not on the wavelength of even paying much attention to your dreams. I'll ask people, do you pay any attention to your dreams? Or, well, I don't even dream. Well, yeah, you do dream. You just don't realize you're dreaming. Yeah, everybody dreams. We have to. If we didn't dream, you can even go to science about it. If we don't enter into REM, rapid eye movement, where we're actually in a deep sleep and we're dreaming, if we don't dream, we actually get ill. We get sick. If it goes on too long, we get sick, and it could actually kill us. So everybody dreams, most definitely. It's just whether or not you remember them. But if you do remember your dreams, do you pay any attention to them? And that's another thing, is that your dreams are whatever birds, butterflies, and dragonflies aren't able to make message to you about, get your attention about. There's they're in spirit form, you know, they're in voice form through your dreams. They are talking to you through messages, from whatever scenario you're living out in a dream. They'll be teaching you something. Somebody will be teaching you something. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead. So that's what I'm seeing, is that you are possibly the one who is wanting to learn to open up more to your mystical side. It says here it's an opportunity to practice acceptance and letting go, and that's all about reaching in and touching your inner self, because when you start developing a very close relationship with your inner self, you start feeling safer and more secure. You just do, because you feel like your inner self is protecting you. The angels and guides and everything else that is spiritual. You've got ancestors around you who are protecting you and talking to you at all times, trying to guide you to the best solution, best decision to make and choice to make. And so when we feel safe and secure, we actually can say, you know what, I'm not going to get hung up on anything else that comes along, because I know that if I just trust that everything will work out as it needs to work out, then it's going to be fine. And it's not going to be fine just for me, it's going to be fine for everyone concerned, and that's what I want. So it's an opportunity to practice acceptance and letting go once you start looking more seriously at that really powerful creator that's within you. Okay, so let's have a look-see what Tarot has to say. We have Five of Pentacles. That's you feeling like you're left out in the cold. You're looking from the outside in to a world, to a realm, to a mindset, to a way of perceiving. Because it's all about perception. A way of perceiving your world and your part in it. The purpose of why you're in it. And why you've attracted everything and everyone that you have in your life right now. If it's all great, great. But I'm thinking it's not just great for you right now, because you're feeling kind of out of sorts with the Five of Pentacles energy. The fish is being, like I said, don't bring the man to the fish, or don't bring fish to the man. See, I don't know the saying. Don't bring the fish to the man, show them how to fish instead. And this is what's happening, is that you're being taught to fish so that you can rest in abundance and prosperity. You can, with the wheel of fortune, you can sit on the wheel quite comfortably and allow the universe to bring to you that you're magnetizing, because you're changing your vibration. And if you don't understand what that means, it just that whatever your heart's desire, that is what you're vibrating. Whatever thoughts you're thinking, that is what you're vibrating. And whatever you're vibrating out from you, from your heart and your mental body, your emotional, physical, spiritual, and mental bodies, is what the universe responds to. And the universe doesn't care if it's a negative thing that you're vibrating or a positive. It'll always match, will always bring to you that which matches your vibration. And so then we have the Queen of Pentacles. Wow. So is there a Queen of Pentacles? Like, this is probably you. Because I'm thinking someone who's very, very grounded. And this is an earth energy, the Queen of Pentacles. You have got a lot to offer someone. You have got a lot to offer a relationship. You have figured out the realm of 3D, as opposed to like, you may be so established in the 3D that you need to find that balance between the 3D and the ethereal, which is 5D and higher, 5th dimension, 6th dimension, so forth. You need to find that balance. When you find that balance, when you actually cultivate a very strong commitment and relationship with your inner self, you're balancing yourself. Because you've already figured out the 3D. You know, you've got prosperity and abundance at the 3D level, at the tangible level, maybe in the form of money, work, career, which of course you're in the relationship pile here, as opposed to looking at the work career pile or the money pile, you may be quite well off. You got all your ducks lined up in a row. You got investments, maybe even have your own house, you know, which is an investment. And you've got a great savings account. You guys put money away towards your retirement and all that sort of stuff. You might even have other investments, that you might have other properties that you rent out to, you know, renters and stuff like that. So you've got your stuff organized in the 3D, which makes you a very practical and very responsible and hardworking individual. You just have to lighten up a little. We've got the 3 of Wands, and this is, yeah, you know, so it's about opening up enough to allow the ship to come into your harbor, so that you can collect from the ship that which it brings you, and it might be a whole boat full of fish, you know, prosperity and abundance, but it's going to be in the vein of this reading. It will be you being able to find a solution. Whatever is on the ship is the solution as to how you're going to be at whatever this solution, this favorable solution is to your situation or your problem. That'll be the how. Okay, and I'm not here to tell you what the how is. You're the one who's going to know it through your own development, or you know, you starting, instead of just navigating the 3D, beginning the process of navigating the 5D and higher. We've got the Hermit. Well, that's very, very appropriate for this reading and this story. The Hermit, that's you turning to the wisdom of the bird, okay, the ancestor who speaks for the divine, and the light, which is where, you know, all darkness, all fear, all things that are not clear, that are like the shadow, right? All darkness, all shadow is dispelled when the light enters your mind, in your choices, in your decisions. You just keep seeking your inner guidance, and you will realize that you're going to go higher and higher up these steps here, higher and higher into an understanding and an evolution of your mind will take place, a transformation. We have the 5 of Cups. You know, this is you right now feeling as though not only are you been, you know, looking from the outside in at a world that you don't fully understand, it's you having been feeling like you've been, you know, beat down to the point where you're crying over spilt milk, you know, not knowing what to do in order for you to be able to make improvements and to find a practical and a very, because even when you reach into your mystic self, it always, with the solution, is always a practical solution. You know, it's a solution that is something that has to be of the world, of the universe, because that's where we are right now, or at least we think we are. So you are in this like water under the bridge kind of thing, that you may need to kind of pull yourself away from the situation, the problem, a little bit, to put some distance between you, so you can get a more broader, more wider perspective of what really is going on between you and this person in this relationship, whatever this relationship is to you. It could, like I said, it could be with somebody at work, it could be a friend, it could be your lover, it could be a family member. Okay, that the two of you are just not on the same page about something, and that bothers you. It doesn't have to be a lover relationship, but you might need to just kind of step back from it. And that's like putting some faith in it, saying that I'm going to step back because I said to my inner self, to my God, you know, I prayed to God and said, I need help. You know, I need help with this person. This is very important to me, or whatever. Or this person isn't important enough for me, and I need to understand why. That kind of thing. 3 of Cups here. We've got, you know, celebration, reunion. It's a coming back together. So this is kind of like the favorable solution as to how it's going to happen. What the ship is bringing in. We don't know how. We don't know the how, but we do know. We will know when, okay, and we will know whether it's yes or no, okay. But the 3 of Cups is solution. That's like the the aftermath of the solution, where you're all celebrating something with the Wheel of Fortune again. So this definitely is your destiny, to be on this journey. The Chariot, there's the journey right there. Balanced with the yin and the yang. They have to be balanced, otherwise, if they're not balanced, like two horses, if they're not balanced in sync with each other, the Chariot really is not going to go anywhere. It might end up on its lid, And then we have the Eight of Swords being caught up in your head, and the Nine of Swords making you lose sleep at night. You get stressed, so stressed, because it's not the solution. You have not been able to come across a solution. And the High Priestess, there you are. This is all about tapping into your intuition. The secrets will be revealed to you, or whatever seems to be clouding your mind. The shadows and the darkness, right? Clouding your mind is to being able to find a solution to this relationship issue. It's all in if you go to your intuition, it'll never guide you wrong, and it's going to be a solution that is best for everyone concerned. Which is always the best, because the solution that comes through from the divine, through your intuition, from the divine, is always a solution that is a forever solution. You will never face a problem like this again, ever. Once you get a solution to one situation you're dealing with, whatever solution it is, you will never face a problem like that again, especially with that person or anyone else. Yeah, that's the great thing about divine solutions. Okay, so we've got content here. We've definitely got content. It's been something that has been making you lose sleep at night. Really, really bothering you. You've been wrapped up in your own thoughts about it, about worrying if you might lose this person, or that the two of you will never be able to get on the same page with each other and see eye to eye and resume a happy family, dynamic type of relationship with your family member, friend thing, same thing. Will my friend just, be so angry with me that they're just not going to bother calling me, or we're not ever going to spend time together again? Relationship, well, how's this going to go? We're going to end up sleeping into separate beds, and eventually separating, and eventually divorcing, or just going our separate ways. So it's been something that's been really bothering you a lot. With the swords here, the Eight of Swords, this is your own imprisonment, right? Your own thoughts of, this is what it's saying here. You go to your inner self, your intuition, listen. Pay attention to your dreams, listen to your intuition, because it will dispel the darkness, right? It will dispel the darkness, which leads you out of stress. It helps to free you from all those burdens of thoughts and fears that you have about this situation with this person that you're in a relationship with. Just make sure that you embrace the light here when you are receiving hits of intuition, because that, like I said, is going to make you feel safer, and it's going to allow you to let go and accept, to feel happier and feel more joyful, lighthearted, more lighthearted, just going more with the flow now. So like when you get a hit, you should go for coffee, or I should go for coffee, whatever it says to you, your intuition says to you. And say, oh yeah, let's do that. Let's go for coffee. Hey, why don't we just quickly eat what we've got here? We'll leave the dishes for later, and let's go have a coffee before, everybody goes home for the night. It's more fun when you go out for coffee and there's other people around too, right? Instead of going for coffee and it's an empty restaurant. So let's find out whether it's, oops. Okay, messed me up here. Let's find out. It says, will this problem situation I'm currently facing have a favorable solution for me in the next 30, 60, or 120 days? What do we have? We have no. Okay, this is going to be something that's going to take a little while longer than 30, 60, or 90 days perhaps. Let's see. No. A whirlwind of events invites chaos. Fortunately, the illusory nature of the situation quickly dissipates. Fortunately, right? It quickly dissipates. So the illusory, which is like, not knowing, not being clear about something, it is replaced by an invigorating sense of hope, an inspiring sense of inviolability, and an invulnerable sense of confidence. Troubles and obstacles strengthen you. So this is a lesson. This definitely is a lesson for you. Again, though, like I said, you turn to your inner light right here and ask for guidance, for a solution that is best for all, which would include you. Then you are going to grow and evolve, and the solution that you've been facing is just suddenly going to, solve itself. Feel like it solves itself. Yeah. A little help from your friends, right? Your birds, your ancestors, your invisible friends. So, let's see. When is it? If it's no, it says when it's no. Pardon me. When it says it's no, it was a no answer for you. Will this problem, situation I'm currently facing have a favorable solution for me in the next 30, 60, 90 days? Or 30, 60, or 120 days. It says, when it's no, it said, let events take their natural course, like accepting and letting go. This could take as long as 5 to 6 months. Okay, so 120 days, what is that? That's 4 months, okay. Requiring considerable patience. However, use your monumental leadership skills and don't be surprised by the dazzling results. So you have leadership qualities. Very good. Well, so yeah, the question is for between 30, 60, or 120 days, which is 1 to 3 months, not 1 to 4 months, pardon me. This is 5 to 6 months, it's saying. So soon after that is what? Let events take their natural course. This could take as long as 5 to 6 months, requiring considerable patience. Again, we have patience here, persistence and patience and practicality. So you're relying, like the Queen of Pentacles is a leader in her own right because she's navigated 3D realm. She will run a business. She works hard. She gives people financial advice. She is just somebody that you can go to that she can help you work towards or save towards your dreams, because she lives in the realm of the dreams because she can afford to do that. She's figured out how to do that with her financial prowess. Okay, so she's very earthly. So you are the Queen of Pentacles energy here, whether you're a male watching this or feminine watching this, you're just in your feminine energy, the Queen of Pentacles. So this just says this could take as long as 5 to 6 months, requiring considerable patience, which is what the King or Queen of Pentacles would have. You had to build your empire kind of thing, your financial empire. However, use your monumental leadership skills and don't be surprised by the dazzling results. So it sounds really good. It's just going to take a little longer than up to 120 days. Okay, so don't be disheartened, but definitely get in touch with your inner self. If you haven't been doing that on a regular, routinely basis, like every day kind of thing, spending time maybe in meditation, doing something that gets you quiet in your mind, quiet and in touch with your inner voice that's always speaking to you. It's just a matter of are we listening? Are we listening? Are we in the position to listen? So guys, I hope that this was helpful to you, and please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel Soul Seekers Tarot. I would love to have you. So take care of yourself. Until next time, bye for now. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. And let's find out what you have chosen here. You have chosen for Pile 2 work and career category. Okay. And if you didn't know, you went with your zodiac sign, you didn't know of any problem or situation that you might be currently facing right now that needs a favorable solution within the next 30, 60, or 120 days, then you went with your zodiac sign. The zodiac sign would be Scorpio, Sagittarius, Libra, and Pisces. Okay, well, let's just take those off. All right. So Virgo, career is what we're going to be talking about. So there'll be a problem or a situation you're facing that needs a favorable solution. That is work-related, job-related, career-related. Okay? Let's start off with pulling these oracle cards that I've chosen for this reading. All right. Major Arcana. Yeah. Judgment. Making a decision. Heeding the call. Find out what Tarot would clarify. Page of Swords. The truth, right? Truth. The page is always a messenger, and the Page of Swords is like a student. But it's bringing in the truth. Sometimes looking back at the past to see a way forward, but this young fellow here is not looking at the past. Yeah. Okay. And then the Lenormand, as usual. Love the Lenormand. Always gives us great content. Lilies. Alright. Lilies. And then we're going to pick a career and lifestyle card. Let's see. Got some tarot in there from another deck. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Let's begin. So we already know that the Judgment is pulled out here for a major arcana, so there's been a major decision, or there is needing to be a major decision to be made, or a major decision to follow. The call has come in. Divine calling has come in, and it could be coming in in the form of a message from someone else or something that you're learning. Message coming in. Alright, and then we have Libra, which is energies of consideration, fairness, and harmony. Yeah, okay, so something is not maybe fair or in harmony, because it's a problem situation, right, that you're currently facing, that you need a favorable solution for within the next 30, 60, or 120 days. And then we have, it's part of a larger plan or divine timing. Okay. So this is an Insights Oracle deck, and then we have the Lilies. Excuse me. The Lilies is about, it's got the King of Swords here. The Lilies is about, purity, truth, and let me see here. I want to just see if I can find out more. That's definitely more than what I could remember to say right now. It says here, it's calm, it's peace, it's serenity is what I preach. Your parents and elders show up under my symbol. I bring wisdom and experience. I signify a long-term relationship or ancestry. Contentment and satisfaction is my angle. The lily from Pagan View is symbolic of sexuality and passion, but also purity. It can also symbolize motherhood. As a result, these calm-looking flowers, with their glass-engraved background, reflect a range of interpretation, that they are both growing and yet eternally captured in smooth glass without any of their essence, shows the two sides of this card. Let's see here. As a card, these lilies make the cards about them pure, simple, or excite their nature. So yeah, it's about peace and calm, serenity, that your parents and your ancestors are helping you to long-term relationship or ancestry. Contentment and satisfaction is my angle. So there's something about it that it's not feeling as though it's a type of situation with your work that it's maybe not the kind of work or the career that suits you. you know, that makes you feel like you're proud to be doing. It might be the type of work that is maybe it's menial work, and you feel like you're destined for bigger, for more, you know, just more responsibility, more just more status, and just happiness, like feeling rewarded through the work that you do, that you're being called to do. And what we're hearing here, though, is that there's a call that needs to be heard, or you have, and there's a message as a result had come through that helped you make that call. But your ancestors, there's peace all over this, which means that whatever peace you're not finding right now in the situation that you're in, it is to happen, it is to come. It's part of a larger plan or divine timing. So it's just a matter of it being the right time and a larger plan, right, than what you're currently perceiving at our little vantage point. Us little people on the planet, we can't see much from where we're standing. That's why a lot of us like to go to the top of the mountain, because we think we'll see more, have more perspective. But even at the top of a mountain doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have the wisdom and insight that we need for the perspective that we're going to gain from being at that height. Oh boy, trapped. You feel stuck in your current situation, but you do have options. Look for another job while keeping the one you have for now, and that's being very practical minded, of course. Looking for another job. Okay, so what I'm seeing, while you continue working while you look for another job, but that's what the divine is saying, is that could be the solution for you right there, is that you start looking for another job, because it is not something that is, the work you're doing right now is not something that you feel you're destined to do. It doesn't give you that satisfaction. You don't wake up in the morning and say, I'm so glad I've got this job to go to. Not only for this reason, that reason, the other reason, but just because I feel like I'm doing some good. So maybe you're somebody like I was. I was somebody who, I worked in all sorts of different job positions, different jobs, different companies, whatever I did. And I always had this niggling feeling that whenever I spent time with friends, they'd always tell me about their problems. I must have had a big sign on my forehead that said, tell me your life story. But they always tell me about their problems, and I didn't even have to say a word most times. Just the fact that I was there to listen to them made them feel more at peace, a little bit less stressed, less burdened about what was going on in their currently going on in their life. And perhaps that's maybe what you're like. You're like, here I am waiting tables, let's say, and that there's a lot of respect in that, let me tell you, because if we went to restaurants and we didn't have people waiting on us and bringing us food and drink and stuff like that, we'd have to eat at home all the time or order out. But even then, there's somebody who's going to serve you. So it's like, thank God we got people who are working in those positions, and a lot of people really enjoy doing that. But if you're not one who does, then you're looking for something more meaningful, more purposeful to you. That when you wake up in the morning, you're going to say, I got my job to go to, and I'm going to help so-and-so because you've been working with a certain client. And you know their name, of course. You're going to think, oh, there's Jill, George, and Patty, who I'm seeing right now, and a plethora of other clients, of course. But they are someone that you're feeling that you're getting somewheres with. Like they really are finding some kind of resolution. They're finding some kind of satisfaction to their time spent conversing with you and doing different counseling work type of practices and tests and stuff like that. They're getting something out of it, and you really feel good about it. You feel good that you're able to help somebody. Yeah, so it might be something like that. And if it's not somebody, not a career that you have to go to school for or anything, it's just, you might be someone who loves to take care of children. You just love children. If you could, you have even more kids. Because you just love babies. You love babies, you love babies, you love babies. You had as many as you could. to go through the whole baby phase, right? So now you want to put yourself out there working for, maybe being a nanny for different families, because obviously the kids grow up, right? And so you want to go and, work for people who've got little children, babies and toddlers. And then when the baby finally gets past the toddler stage, you might be thinking about moving on to another family who's got babies and toddlers. Again. And that's going to make you feel satisfied, because you just love to be around those cute little dudes. Yeah, pinching their little cheeks and saying, "You're just so adorable." Yeah, and so that might be something you're doing. But instead, right now, you're working in the children's section at Target. It's meaningful enough, right? But it's really not getting you in touch with being able to be hands-on with the child. For a period of time where you feel like you're nurturing them and you're teaching them, you're raising them, you're helping to raise them, and that would give you a lot of satisfaction. So that's just kind of what I'm talking about, just examples, right? So you're just right now feeling trapped in whatever it is you're doing. It doesn't feel like you don't feel rewarded. It's not rewarding enough for you, and the idea is that you can feel. You can know that by the time we get through this reading, you're going to feel more at peace. We got our fingers crossed. Okay, so let's hear more from the tarot. Now, with it being a larger plan, being part of a larger plan and divine timing, is that maybe you need some more time in Target working with children's clothing and the customers that come through there with their children of that age. You maybe need more time to develop into the person where you can really give of yourself unconditionally to the child or children that you will be working, spending your days with, helping to raise and teach and nurture, because you're their child care person that their parents have hired you to be there with them. Yeah. So let's see what we got here. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. That's somebody who says, like she's got a kitty cat. That's someone who says, I'm on it. I'm on it. You can't keep much from me. I'm on it. I'm bold, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes. You're willing to do whatever it takes to find the solution. And do whatever that solution tells you to do. You're willing to do it. There's no bars hold, or no hold bars, whatever the saying is. Yeah. So there's the Five of Pentacles, because right now all you're doing is you're feeling like you're just going in. It's a routine. You go into work or whatever career life you've got, even if you are someone who's like, let's say, an analyst or an economist. You might have found that it was going to be really interesting work to do. You might be working for a government agency. You might be doing something that is like high authority, classified, maybe even information. But it's exciting too. It's exciting to a certain degree. It's exciting, but it's like facts and figures. It's facts and figures. You feel like you've missed your calling, right? You've missed your calling. And you get great pay. I mean, you've got the nicest apartment, or you got a big house on the hill. You've got everything you need and want. It's just that your everyday life, the things that you're doing, spending your time, your waking time during especially the weekdays, is not gratifying you anymore, if it ever did. Okay? It probably did for a little while, but it's just become a vicious cycle or a circle of routine, and it's not the kind of routine that makes you want to get up in the morning and say, I feel prosperous, I feel abundant, I feel driven, I'm motivated. Yeah. Okay, so then the Strength card. This is about you stepping into your power, your strength, okay, of overcoming, like, of taming the ego within you, which is your fears, or, you know, your doubts of, can I do this? Queen of Wands, if you're not in your power of, I am able, I am very able, and I'm quite bold, and I'm willing. If you're not in that kind of power, you really are like the Queen of Wands, not in that kind of power. You really are in a power of where you're being trapped, feeling trapped in your ego fears. Your fears of, I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I couldn't do it. Maybe nobody would want me. That kind of thing. Like if you wanted to put yourself out there to work for parents who have small children, maybe no one would want to hire me. They get one look at me, or they hear me talk during the interview, and they'd say, oh no, that's not the person for us. The Five of Swords, you know, that's this kind of not being in your power, not standing in your power, is sabotaging your efforts because you got the fear of walking away from something that is maybe secure for you. You got safety and security in what you're doing for work. Even if you're working at Target, you've got safety and security in that it's a big company, and unless you do something that would cause them to want to discipline you or to fire you, you got a job, and you could maybe even move from one department to another. Maybe you'll go from children's to taking care of, or even doing, I don't know, be the one who actually dresses the mannequins. I don't know. I really don't. But you could evolve in your position. Maybe you'll be the head of or supervisor of two departments or one department, because you've worked there long enough and they like your work and they realize you come and you show up on time and you don't take much time off than normal, and you know they can rely on you. So you get paid fairly decently, maybe $18, $20 an hour. That's not too bad. Not too bad to sneeze at, right? So you are, but you have this fear that if you don't work, and again, it's this idea here is that feeling trapped. It's about you having options that look for another job while keeping the one you have now. Let's say you want to become a child caregiver for somebody in their home, for the kids in their parents' home. You might want to take some parenting classes in the meantime before you actually put your resume out there, or like on Indeed.com or in the newspaper for job wanted ads, whatever it is, or just putting the word of mouth out there, or putting your blurb about you and how you've got this kind of experience working with children this age, or that you're motivated, feeling motivated and desire to work with working in a home as a caregiver, nanny, whatever, up on bulletin boards at places where parents go, like elementary schools and shopping, grocery stores and wherever. Okay, so it's about you making sure that you get yourself back standing in your power of, I can do this. I'm confident. I'm a leader and I'm a go-getter. I can do this. As long as I stop sabotaging my efforts and sitting in the, but I don't know if I'm good enough because I'm afraid that I may not be good enough for what it is that you really desire to do in your work or career. And this is the sabotaging. This is the one where you're actually sitting there going, maybe I'm not good enough, and you're just sabotaging your efforts, kind of thing. That what you want to do is going to take maybe a little bit more effort on your part, maybe more work, studying, education, training, whatever. But you can do it, and it's just a matter of you standing up and saying, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be taking care of what it is I need to do right now while I'm still working at Target, or while I'm still working as an economist. Whatever it is, you're going to do it. It's kind of like a side hustle for you, but you're going to do it. The King of Cups, that's like this one here is like feeling deeply in that energy of I am I really want to feel completely, maybe not completely, but let's just say completely, because why not? Completely happy and satisfied with what I'm doing in life. That I can be that much in love, so deeply in love with my life. Because what I do every day is something that brings me so much reward, and purpose. Reward and purpose. We've got the Six of Wands there. There's reward and purpose showing up with the Six of Wands, with the victory and success. Look at you. And people looking at you, cheering you on, saying, you're doing it, you're falling in love with your life, maybe never or again. Okay, falling in your life for the first time. If you've never been before is what I meant to say. Yes, most definitely. But the Eight of Swords, again, it keeps creeping back through you. Three of Swords, you have let yourself down a time or two before. There's the Queen of Cups right under the King of Cups. Holy cow, that's finding balance right there. Let's move these guys up a bit so we can see this better. You're right there in finding balance, being in line, Queen of Wands, being in line with your heart's desires, not just having just sheer ego motivation and passion. You've got heart balance. Yes, balance, definitely. The King of Pentacles, oh my God, you're going to be working for somebody who is going to be able to teach you the ways of this world. I'll get into that in a moment. And that Eight of Pentacles, that's you mastering your skills of whatever it is that's going to move you along. But the Four of Swords, but not before you've taken a respite time. Because remember, you're doing this while you're still working at whatever it is you're currently doing. Even if you're not working right now, that happens to be your challenge. You're going to be busy, doing the legwork about getting prepared for what it is that you truly want to do. Pardon me. So yes, you are finding balance. You are in line with your goals. Feeling the love of something that you really know that you would just love to do. You would just love to do, and you can do it. Definitely, you can do it. You can do anything you want. You just have to make up your mind, follow the calling of your heart, the stirring of your heart, and feeling impassioned about it, and going to somebody, talking, enlisting someone's help, or the person that you need to, maybe there's somebody in, recruitment, HR, somebody that you either know, or they're going to be someone who can be quite an influence on you, because they'll be able to help you in the way of, because the King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, they navigate their 3D realm, the very tangible, it's about money, finance, it's documents, laws, and tradition, and just following the rules, and they're the type of person who have so much focus and energy and focus on how to make things work at the level of 3D world, this world, right? And that's why they're as wealthy as they are, is because they are able to navigate all even the loopholes. But that they know the laws, tax laws, they know the employment laws, they know the business laws, they know all of this stuff like the back of their hand, that many of us do not. So we go to someone who can help us with, for example, what it could be like somebody who is going to be able to give you advice on a particular career track. Okay, it could be someone who can help you find work. So like a headhunter they are a headhunter. They set up service where they hunt people down. So let's say that there is someone, family that needs a nanny, and they put their they pay this person to seek people out like you. And however they do that, I don't know. But that's the idea, is that you will be able to go to them. It's like a temp agency kind of idea. But it's not temp, though. It's you go to the temp agency and you say, I'm available. So you put your information out there, and then they try and match you with people that they know are seeking people like you. So, yep, you're going to be talking to somebody who's going to be able to help you get this sorted out for you. Because this is their working career. The King of Pentacles, they're all over it. So it could be just somebody knows somebody. You have a friend that a friend of a friend, or someone who owns a business, and they want your what your skills and abilities, especially when you receive the training and the education that you got. Maybe they're looking for, let's say, somebody they're looking for salesmen, right? You don't need a lot of training as salesman, but it does help when you do get it. But you've been working at Target, and you're in sales because you're there to help people buy the product that Target sells. So you're someone who's going to get some more training on being a more specific type of salesperson, or just kind of broadening your skills in sales, that kind of thing. And this person here can help you by saying, they put an ad in the paper, and you contact them, email them, or whatever, and you say, I see you're looking for a salesman. Is there any chance that we could have an interview? That kind of thing. Okay, so that's what we got, is that we've got you put in a lot of work, but you're going to be needing to find some respite time. In other words, don't go directly from leaving this job until you have been able to kind of put it away. You get, you'll tell, let's say you get hired, okay? You get hired by somebody, you're still working at Target. Well, you got to give Target 2 weeks notice. So you're going to say, I need to have 2 weeks before I start. So during that 2 weeks, you're going to be working at Target, still going home, still having your regular, you're not doing anything rocket science at your current job. So it's kind of like you can just still kind of relax, but knowing that you're not going to be there much longer, which is like a blessing, because you got this other job to look to, so you're feeling happier and more hopeful and stuff like that. But you've got this 2 week window where you can still, you don't have to be, doing rocket science work at Target or wherever it is for 2 weeks. So it's kind of like you're resting before psyching yourself up before you go to this other job where it's going to be a whole new learning curve for you. So that idea. All right. So, Three of Swords we have here is that you just have been feeling brokenhearted about your choices in life, that you maybe missed the boat, right? You missed your calling is what I want to say. You missed your calling. Yeah. And that you just feel like whatever you've been doing, it's not in harmony with you, right? And you just know now that the lilies are helping you, which is your ancestors, peace and calm. Okay, yes or no? We have got no. Okay, circumstances. Now, don't freak out now. Okay, no. Circumstances require a more careful approach. Much more careful. So it's going to be longer than 120 days. That's what it's saying. However, the inviolability of your decisions give birth to colossal opportunities and the incredible means for their implementation. But again, be careful. Wow. I mean, that's fantastic, actually, because circumstances require a more careful approach. So you're going to be taking this with, small enough steps, maybe not baby steps, but you're going to be looking, the idea is that you need to be looking for ways to improve your what is it? Inviolability. However, the inviolability of your decisions give birth to colossal opportunities and the incredible means for their implementation. So you're going to be able to put more focus and time into energy into improving your skills and abilities in a certain area. So if you want to be a nanny, you're going to take parenting classes and nanny classes and whatever is available out there. If you're an economist, you're going to be taking, you're going to definitely be wanting to take parenting classes, right? If that's what you want to be. If you're working at Target, you want to take some sales. If you're applying for a sales position at a corporation where they sell something that is really, it's something that really makes you, maybe they sell iPhones, and that's just something that really makes you very happy and interested and excited that you're going to be part of the whole iPhone sales, or maybe you're in the technical side of it, if you're not sales, that kind of thing. So it says no. So will this problem situation I'm currently facing have a favorable solution for me in the next 30, 60, or 120 days? Well, it says no. It's going to take a little bit longer. So practically speaking, it means that you're just going to need some time to stay at your current position while you're training and educating yourself for the very thing that you're wanting to move towards, to go towards. So, if no, it says the vector of happy accidents guides you in unexpected direction, slowly transforming your perception of the situation for 2 to 3 months, pumping you full of confidence. The right point of view conquers any dilemma, though. Come to think of it, the right point of view conquers human civilization. Okay, well, whatever. The vector of happy accidents guides you in an unexpected direction, slowly transforming your perception of the situation for 2 to 3 months. So in the next 2 to 3 months, instead of you finding a solution, your perception of the whole idea of that you're not where you're meant to be, you're not happy, is that, and where you think where you want to be will make you happy. Your perception of the situation for like 2 to 3 months, starting now, will start pumping you full of confidence about what it is that you're seeing is what makes you happy. Okay? So the right point of view conquers any dilemma. So you get yourself into the right, I'm thinking, the right perception. You're slowly transforming your perception about your situation. So you are going to say, I don't want to keep working at this job. I just want to quit this and I want to do that. Well, you'll be starting to feel as when you start training towards what you want to move towards, then being educated and training towards it, you might start to feel like, hey, I really needed to do this, because it's not going to be as easy as I thought it might be doing that kind of work. So I'm glad I haven't quit my current job and that I've got time to move, to train, to know all the ins and outs of this particular role that I want to be placed in for my work, that I see that there's a lot more to it than I thought there would be. And so you're going to be grateful for the time that you have to be able to see it for what it needs to, how it needs to be seen, and so that you can feel more confident about moving into that role when you finally basically graduate from whatever training and education you're getting for this particular new career path that you're on. Okay, guys? I hope that was helpful to you. So it's not going to be within the next 120 days that a solution is going to come. It might be a little bit longer, but in the next 2 to 3 months, you're going to be able to see a bigger picture about it, and you're going to feel gratitude that you've got the time and the perception you need about the situation that you're moving towards, and your current situation that you're still working at a place where you're earning money to pay your rent and your money for food and stuff like that. You're still working, you didn't leave it behind. It's something you want to just quit that job and start this other thing. It may not be that simple, particularly for the type of work that you have in mind, the goal that you're trying to reach for your career path. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. Take care of yourself. Until next time, if you like this, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Yeah, so take care. Bye-bye. Hi, Pile 3. You have chosen money as the category we're talking about right now. And the question is, how will this problem or situation that has to do with money I'm currently facing will this problem situation I'm currently facing have a favorable solution for me in the next 30, 60, or 120 days? If you didn't pick it because you recognize and acknowledge that you have a situation that you're facing about money, who doesn't, right? But you might have chosen this pile through your zodiac sign, which we have Leo, Capricorn, Aries, and Taurus. Okay? I'll just move those out of the way. And these are the decks I've chosen for this reading. So let's get started pulling cards, Major Arcana. Alright, pile 3 for money. This one here. Alright, and the small tarot for clarification. For money, pile 3. And then a couple of oracles. This is astrological one. And then an insight one. Insight oracle for the situation. And Lenormand. Yep, always a Lenormand. Love Lenormand. Alright, and the liminal oracle. This one wants to be seen. And finally, the classical mythology oracle. Okay, guys, we're ready. Here we go. Major Arcana, we got Temperance. Okay, so some healing, some balance. You know, that's always abundance, right? 2 of Cups. Okay, so whatever thing that you're partnered with, thing or person that you're partnered with that has to do with this money situation, it's going to be healing. It's going to be balancing. Things are good, looking up, right? Okay, and then we have the yin energy of intuitive, trust, patient, spirituality, and receptivity. Okay, so just being open and ready to receive. The insight card is there are lessons to be learned before you can move forward. Oh, okay. And we've got the tree card. Yeah, talk about lessons. This is all about, moving up the tree of life, right? Tree of life, moving up, to the pinnacle of growth, right? Where it's fresh, it's new, but it's at a height. It's at a height. Whereas this growth down below, it's your like ancestors. It's like something that you have established well. It's the kind of knowledge, it's kind of the lessons that you know like the back of your hand. And so you have been taking a journey up the tree of life, the spiritual journey up the tree of life to evolution. And the roots that you have laid down into the ground is that you're balanced now, and not only very grounded, but you are still learning. You've lessons, and you've got lessons. It's like kind of the Six of Swords energy, where there's people in the boat and they got the swords there, and the swords are all the lessons that you've learned from during the rough patches in your life, because you're moving from rough waters to calmer waters. Well, that's what this is saying. You're going to be moving from rough obstacles and barriers. Trying to get these things out of your way has been teaching you how to move forward in a most valuable and balanced healing manner, where you become the prosperity and abundance that you're looking for. Okay, some money. They've got adrift here. So someone's been adrift. I'm talking about that boat and the Six of Swords. And we got Troy. Keywords is home, conflict, and boundaries. Very interesting. Let's look at both of those, okay? The liminal forest is adrift. I'm sure it's alphabetical. So, adrift is, amidst the vast and unpredictable lake of life, we often find ourselves floating along, adrift, caught in the currents of external forces like social expectations, economic pressures, and unforeseen circumstances that dictate our paths without our consent. The sensation of aimlessness goes beyond mere lack of direction, breeding a profound disconnection from the world around us. In our quieter moments, however, we glimpse new opportunities on the horizon, dreams, passions, or people that ignite a spark of inspiration within us, promising purpose and solidity. Yet, as we strive to reach out, they seem perpetually out of reach, intensifying our feelings of drift and disconnection. So it's kind of like the feeling of you have goals to reach that money is going to obviously help you reach, but maybe the money is just not there. And it doesn't matter how many months go by that you're working, you're bringing the money in, it just goes out to bills and other things. It goes out. Maybe some unexpected things happen. Your hot water heater breaks down. It's got to be replaced. The roof needs to be replaced. The building that you rent from is undergoing whatever, and you've got to move. You got to relocate, and which means you're going to have to put out, before you even get your rental deposit back from the first place, you're going to have to put out a rental deposit on a new place. Just unforeseen circumstances come up that seems to take your money all the time. Maybe you got sick and you've now had to put out a bunch of money towards health care bills, or somebody in your family got sick, someone you take care of and are responsible for. I don't know, maybe you had an accident with your car and now the insurance is not going to cover, it's like the gap insurance kind of thing. It's not going to cover the difference between what you paid, what your current car loan is at, and what they're willing to pay you out for writing your vehicle off. So then you've got a loss right away, and you still need a vehicle. You don't have a vehicle, or it's got to be in the shop for a while, so you've got to rent a vehicle, or take the bus, or something, cab, something. Just something seems to often pop up when you could have socked maybe $100 away that month towards savings, an emergency fund or savings towards whatever it is that you're wanting to buy. Maybe you want to buy a piano because you want to start practicing piano because you love the sound piano. You love piano playing. You love to make music. And that would just be something that you would spend your days and your nights doing when you're not at work, is playing on your piano, maybe creating music, but you're just loving the sound of the piano. And but you don't have the money to buy a piano, not even an electric keyboard. So you are trying to save for that. But again, circumstances. And every time you try to sock away $100, next thing you know, you got that $100 in savings that's going towards your piano, and next thing you know, something happens. And maybe your pet gets sick, if you have a pet, and they need surgery, or just the fact that you're taking your pet to see a veterinarian just for an examination, you're going to be $100 out. Just to go in to see for an examination and maybe come away with some antibiotics because your pet has an infection. So there's however many dollars you had to put out to get your pet cared for. Yeah, so something always comes and it drains your bank account, your savings account. And it feels like this hopelessness. And all you're trying to do is find some kind of balance where between you and whatever it is, with the Two of Cups, can finally meet. Between you and the piano can finally meet, get to know each other, right? Or between you and a person, if you're trying to get to go visit somebody, let's just say, and it's going to cost money to see them, obviously, for traveling expenses. Maybe you've got to stay somewhere, but it's like every time you try to put money away for it, it gets gobbled up by something else. It says here, despite these challenges, our journey reveals our true essence, teaching us resilience and the value of connection. Each attempt, even when it ends in further drift, strengthens our wisdom, courage, and attunement to life's nuances. As we navigate through life's currents, we learn that our journey's beauty lies not in reaching a predetermined destination, but in the growth and insights gained along the way. Ultimately, we realize that the lake of life is not a domain of aimlessness, but a portal to infinite possibilities, where the currents we once battled become the pathways. In this journey, we find the greatest anchor, the unwavering belief in ourselves and the profound connections we forge, propelling us forward with the unbreakable strength of the human spirit. So you'll be forging a path with somebody, or towards something. So it ultimately what it's saying is all these obstacles and circumstances are they're part of our journey, and it's there because we want to strengthen our resolve and in our ability to overcome, and not just overcome, but to thrive from even in amidst of all these challenges. We thrive, we grow and evolve, right? And we become stronger as a result. We are even that much more capable of reaching even greater heights again, right? Like the tree. Greater heights. There are lessons to be learned before you can move forward. So yes, Troy. Wait a minute. Oh, that's 36. Looked like 16 to me. 36. One more. Troy. The key words is home, conflict, and boundaries. When Troy came under siege, the previously impenetrable fortress was breached. As a result of the Trojan Wars, Troy fell and was defeated. Although on the surface the Troy card would seem to spell out disaster, it really means that you need to pay attention to your home life and your boundaries. Your home is your castle, so think about how you can increase your defenses. How safe is your house? What can you do to enhance the security of your property? This card indicates that someone is about to test your boundaries in some way, which in turn could bring conflict to your home. This might be a neighbor who oversteps the mark, or a guest who outstays their welcome. It could also indicate that there is conflict within the family unit that needs to be addressed before peace can be restored. This card can also mean that your personal foundations and sense of self are crumbling away. In some disrespecting or chipping away at your boundaries. Is someone disrespecting or chipping away at your boundaries? If so, you need to confront them. Whatever it is, the Troy card comes to let you know that now is the time to reassess your security and to strengthen your boundaries so that they cannot be breached. So yeah, there's something to do with your own sense of strength, ability. That is the reason why you're facing a money problem or situation that you need a favorable solution for. So it's possible that this person here in the Two of Cups that you're somehow connected with, partnered with, is crossing some kind of boundaries with you. Maybe spending too much money. If this is a situation where perhaps it's a business partner, let's just say, business partner, and there's always a budget, okay, for everything, because when you go to the IRS and you have to submit your taxes, you put on the schedule of what your business expenses were. You've got to be able to say that you're not overspending in a certain area of your budget, because there's only so many dollars and it's all spoken for, right, for the operation of your business and your products, right? So there might be someone who's going outside the lines of the budget and maybe indulging a little bit too much in like, let's say if they have to go out of town to promote your service or product, they might be staying at a 5-star as opposed to staying at, something that's, appropriate, more appropriate for your budget, like Motel 6 or something, I don't know. But it's something that is just making you feel like you're not getting ahead. You're just adrift. You're adrift in this sea of, how are we ever going to make this business work and prosper when I've got somebody that I'm in a legal contract with to be partnered with in this business, and they're busy spending money like it grows on the tree out back in the backyard? Or you've got a romantic partner who, is maybe not working very much or not working at all, so they're really not bringing any income in, and they're busy spending. Possibly because they are, bored out of their tree with all the time they have on their hands, or they just are not really very good with money. They just simply aren't good with money. And you make good money, but you can't go on vacations. Even if you just have an RV and you go off a couple of states away or another country away and RV it for a week, that's be something that you would really like to do. But there really isn't any money in the household budget for it. Maybe they're doing things to the house that's causing, it to have breakdowns. Maybe the refrigerator's on the fritz. Maybe I don't know, what could they be doing that would destroy something in the house? But it may not be your person. It may just be the weather's not cooperating and a tornado comes along and it rips off part of your roof or just off your shingles off of it, and you've got to get your roof re-roofed. And that's a couple of $1,000 if you have insurance. If you don't have insurance, well, don't even want to go there. But yeah, there are definitely lessons to be learned in this. It's about you being able to stand up and like when you are able to establish boundaries, healthy boundaries with other people, then that means you're growing, you're evolving. Because most of us who are not really growing, evolving, and learning from our mistakes and learning from our experiences don't have healthy boundaries. That's why. Just put my glasses back on. Yeah, don't have healthy boundaries. So we keep experiencing the same situations over and over again, either with the same people, different day, different situation, but same kind of ideas. It's just coming back around again. And you're going, why am I facing this again? So it's all about you establishing some healthy boundaries, saying this is what I will accept from you and this is what I will not accept from you. Okay? And if you decide to go beyond those boundaries, there will be consequences. And you're not going to like the consequences. Right? So with your business partner, if you continue to spend more than what the budget has allotted for it, that area, I'm going to take you to court. Okay, sorry, my battery died, and so we're back. So I was saying that there's going to be consequences, like your business partner, and you're going to take them to court, or you're just going to, I don't know, stop the business, stop doing the business, whatever legal course that you could take. If it's somebody that you're romantically involved with that's spending money like it grows on the tree in the backyard, and you're going to say, I'm going to take your name off the checking account or the savings account. I'm going to give you an allowance, until you can prove to me that you can be trusted with money, stuff like that. So it's boundaries. It's about boundaries. You establish, erecting healthy boundaries and living by them, making sure that other people know about them and enforcing them when they have been crossed. Okay, and so that will help you feel like you're actually moving in the flow as opposed to just being adrift, because being in the flow is different than being adrift. Right? Being in the flow is positive. It's abundant, it's prosperous. Being adrift is just kind of like being like the liminal, that this deck talks about the liminal forest. It's kind of like being in the in-between. Not quite in the flow, but not totally stuck on land kind of thing. Okay, so let's find out more from tarot before we find out the yes and no. Okay, will this problem situation I'm currently facing have a favorable solution for me in the next 30, 60, or 120 days? Two of Wands. Yeah, it's sitting at a crossroads, right? Kind of like in the river, adrift, the lake of life, adrift. Nine of Wands, feeling like you have been having to actually battle. You've been in battles where money's supposed to be our best friend. It's supposed to be our best friend. It's a resource. It's a tool used to establish or to achieve things in life. Yeah. And but because certain circumstances or family upbringing, whatever, gives us the idea of lack, feeling lack, and always wanting. And it's like it comes in but it goes. It never stays in our hand long enough to be able to do what it is that we'd like to do with it, to use it for. And so we start establishing that mindset where, yeah, I likely could put $100 away this month, but I bet you next month something else is going to come along and I'm not going to have it. You know, we think that way. We think that somehow worrying about it or making a statement like that is actually going to kind of have the opposite effect, where if I say it now, then it be that it won't happen. And if I say it'll go towards something, and oh yeah, it'll likely go out towards something else, that it likely actually won't happen if I say it. But it's actually the other way around. And when we make statements like that, we're reinforcing and confirming to the universe, which is the one that gives everything to us, to the universe, that that's what we expect. We expect that it's not going to be around for very long anyways, even if I do throw it in the savings account right now. So then the universe is going to give us what it is that we expect, and that is something's going to come along that's going to take that $100 away from us. So we are feeling like we're always in battle with what? The world? The world. The world is not our friend, because money seems to be aloof to us, just not available. And so it leaves us always wondering what way to go. We're always at a crossroads. We want something, but we feel like we can't do that. We can't have that right now, so we just keep going the way we've been going. Five of Pentacles. Boy, this is showing up. Five of Pentacles come out in all three piles. So the Five of Pentacles, just feeling like you're left out in the cold, that the world is not our friend. Doesn't matter how hard I work, my loved one, my kids, or my romantic partner, or my business partner, or something, my health, even my own health, makes me, my pets, my health, whatever, my house, causes me to always feel like there's never enough money in the pot. Six of Wands, but all I want is victory and success. I want to be able to be seen as though I'm not wanting anymore, that I'm in abundance, in success, in victory. I'm tired of not being in that energy. And the Three of Wands is that I can see that there is a way, and there is a way. There is a way by making sure that this is the card here, this is your solution, is erecting healthy boundaries, establishing with your people that you're struggling, challenged with, to be able to make money your friend. Yeah, make money your friend in your life. It's about establishing healthy boundaries with what you will accept their behaviors, what you'll accept from them, and what you will not accept from them. So it's you standing up, standing in your power and saying, this is what I want, this is what I need, and this is not about being selfish. This is about being happy. That if you, let's say, for example, your romantic partner, if you were to stop spending so much, or were on a budget, like an allowance, or you worked and drew an income in as well, we could do this, that, and the other thing, not just go on an RV camping trip, because that would be something I would really enjoy doing, you would say, maybe. But we could maybe go to Paris, for a vacation, which is something she or he would like to do. Okay? So there's compromise, right? Because there's money to do that with. The business partner, if you stop spending in excess of the budget for that particular thing, like hotel stays while you're out there selling our business, selling our product and service, we would be able to expand, and actually we'll be able to send you across the water, to another country. We might actually be able to establish a network or our footing in Europe, let's say, or vice versa, if you're in Europe and you want to be in the United States, that kind of thing. There is a way to do it. It's a matter of you, and this is the lesson to be learned before you can move forward. Healthy boundaries. Start standing up for what you know is right. And the reason why I said what I said before about these scenarios is that you will be able to go camping, you'll be able to go to Paris. That makes everybody happy. Camping in Paris makes everybody happy. It's compromising, right? Because you have money to do it. Your business partner, he or she will now be able to go either train people over in the other country, but you're expanding your company, which is going to make you more profitable, making your partner, or even your, if you have board of directors or investors, they're going to be very happy because you're bringing more money in for them. Yeah. Eight of Swords, that seems to be coming out all the time in all the piles as well. With the moon as well is coming out. Wow. So, because otherwise, without finding a solution, something that you can do right now, in order for you to learn that lesson about standing in your power with those boundaries, evolving, that's spiritual growth, right? You got the roots, use them to be grounded in your power, and establish those boundaries so that you can move towards victory and success in whatever way it looks for you, money-wise, and being ready to to actually receive, being ready to receive, waiting for your ships to come, being ready to receive, which is going to allow you, because when you've got your boundaries up, you are already standing in the power of being ready to receive, being prepared to receive the victory and success, taking you out of your own self-imposed prison of what can I do about this? I just want this, or I just want this kind of bank account, and I never seem to be able to get, and even if you got thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in your bank account already, we always want more, right? So it's no different. You're gonna want more. And things will be more clear for you. You won't have to fear always being at the dollar status you're at right now. If you got a couple $100,000 already, am I only ever going to have a $200,000 bank account? Can't I grow it to $500,000 or $1 million? That's maybe one of your goals, and you're going to have this fear that this is as good as it's going to get. And if it's not that scenario, it's the other scenario where you're really would like to have at least a few $1,000s in your bank account so that you could pay for something that you want, a vacation, an item. Maybe you want to buy a house because you're renting right now. The Devil, yeah, wow. This is looking at, you know, the toxicity of it, the unfairness of it to you. It's the unfairness of it. Unfairness, the imbalance of it. And we got Temperance here, though. That always trumps the imbalance. This is an imbalance energy. Toxic energy is imbalance. We got Justice. There's the Justice that's coming. That's going to bring that balance, that fairness in. Because this has not been an easy thing for you to be able to establish in your life, to be able to grow in your life. Money, right? Death. There's going to be Justice and a Death, which is the major change and transformation of your situation. With the Six of Cups, it's going to be something that is going to last, you know, it's going to be something that is going to bring, what would you say, it's like the legacy, it's like, it's legendary, it's something that is solid, something that's been there, something that you have got in you, you've got it in you, and that's what I'm getting, is that you've got it in you, and you've had it in you ever since childhood. And that's why you're facing the situation right now, because you haven't grown enough from your childhood having it in you. You haven't put it to work for you in establishing your power through boundaries. Okay? Eight of Wands, that's leaving the difficult challenges behind. And the King of Pentacles, oh my God. The King of Pentacles, that's another card that's been coming out a lot. The King of Pentacles, there you are standing in your power, in your energy. Okay, so you are definitely moving in that direction. You've got, it's been unfair, it had you all wrapped up in your own thoughts of, I don't, you know, how am I ever going to make this work? How am I ever going to have what I need or what I want in life? Because money seems to just slip through your fingers, kind of thing. And it's just, it's been quite curious in how you just have never been able to see through things, see clearly to the ability of being able to overcome the unfairness of it, the feeling trapped, feeling like you're bound and gagged, you know, like you're just tethered to all things that want to just take your happiness away. You might be even one who equates your happiness, how you're happy. If I would be a lot happier, let's say you might say, I'd be a lot happier if I had $100,000 in my account right now. I'd be a lot happier. Well, of course, that's not the way to think, but I know that's the way we think. We just feel safer, more secure when we have that financial cushion, right? And right now, it doesn't feel like it's going to happen, or that it's never happened, and it's just been feeling awful. It's been feeling unfair. But the Justice is around the corner, and it has to do with this, right? The boundaries. It's your major change and transformation. It's a lesson that you're learning. That's something that you've had in you since you were a child. It's been there. And maybe your parents instilled it in you or not. It's hard to say. But you are going to be able to walk away from all that you had not been experiencing as being something that would make you happy. Right? You've not been experiencing happiness through dollars, through the collection of dollars. You have not been experiencing that. But this is all about teaching you to stand in your power so that you evolve, you grow into the king energy of someone who really knows how to prosper and be abundant. This one does. This is the one. And all 4 kings in the deck, this is the one that's going to have the 10 of Pentacles legacy. All right, so this is the energy you're going to be moving into, so do not despair. Let's find out what the answer is. Will this problem or situation that you're currently facing with the money have a favorable solution for you in the next 30, 60, or 20 days? And what I'm finding is it may not show up within the next 30, 60, or 120 days, but it might be just after that. It's just not that soon. So we got a pile of, so we're doing this again. That's too many. I wouldn't know which one to pick. Okay, here, this one. No. Okay. It's still no. No, you tried catching the bird of luck by its tail, but you missed the best moment to do so. Still, luck always returns. Situations present other options. Happiness is only a matter of luck and timing. We talk about happiness and money. Expect huge changes in your life to attract a colorful and enjoyable atmosphere. It doesn't get luckier than that. This one here would be the attraction of colorful and enjoyable atmosphere. Look at all the fruit he's surrounded by. You know, and the clothing he's wearing. I mean, he's living in the lap of luxury. So that's what you're attracting. I'll read it again. You tried catching the bird of luck by its tail, but it slipped through your fingers, right? We talked about that. But you missed the best moment to do so. Still, it's going to come back around. Luck always returns. Situations present other options. So you might come up with another option. Once you start standing in your power, you might find another way to actually make more money. Okay? To bring a solution to your lack of or not enough of. Okay, so happiness is only a matter of luck and timing anyway. Expect huge changes in your life to attract a colorful and enjoyable atmosphere. It doesn't get any luckier than that. I mean, he's a king. He's not the queen, and the queen's pretty darn awesomely strong and powerful too, the Queen of Pentacles. Let's find out what it says when. Okay, so it's no, it's not during the next 30, 60, or 120 days. If no, 3 to 4 months is a favorable time for molding the circumstances as you want them. That's just molding the circumstances. That just is kind of like putting your investment in place, let's say, but it needs time for it to grow. All right. Your natural sense of self and devotion involuntarily attracts luck. It's interesting. He's talking about luck again. And universal recognition. There's that recognition. 6 of Wands. Being recognized. Acknowledged for victory and success. You're wise enough to know that the harder you work, the luckier you get. Wow. The harder you work. This guy works hard. King and Queen of Pentacles are hard worker energies. Okay, so I'll read it again. 3 to 4 months is a favorable time for molding the circumstances as you want them. Your natural sense of self and devotion involuntarily attracts luck and universal recognition. You're wise enough to know that the harder you work, the luckier you get. So you're going to have to put some work into this. So work would be like erecting your boundaries and actually enforcing them. Policing them, right? Enforcing them with the people, your business partner, your romantic partner, your kids, whatever. Putting some rules into place, right? That's going to help you grow your fortune. And so the circumstances, that's the circumstances. So you tried catching the bird of luck by its tail, but you missed the best moment to do so. Still, luck always returns. There's the luck and the luck in here. Situations present other options, so you'll find other ways. Like this, your romantic partner may need to go to work, find a job, even if it's just part-time. That'll help bring in more, let's see, what do they call it, disposable income. Okay, your business partner might get on. You might get your business partner on hotel, registered with like Choices or something like that, where you get rewards for staying, and there you find better prices for a hotel stay, and you get rewarded every time you have a stay. Then you can use those points towards another stay where you're not putting any money out for it, because your rewards, your points will pay for it. Something like that, right? Just this is another option. Another, what did it say here? Situation presents other options. Yeah, happiness is only a matter of luck and timing anyway. Expect huge changes in your life to attract a colorful and enjoyable atmosphere. It doesn't get luckier than that. And then, it's 3 to 4 months is a favorable time to actually establish those circumstances that you want to put in place. Okay? That your natural sense of self. So it's going to take the time that we're talking about here, where the favorable solution, it is actually showing up, but it's not going to look like that to you because you're establishing those boundaries, you're establishing those rules, you're establishing the rewards program where you have to build up stays so that you get rewards enough so that you'll finally start getting a stay paid for through your points. That kind of thing. Same with your person here working part-time, that whatever they're making in the next 2 to 3 months or 3 to 4 months will just be enough, will be paying off the debt they've accrued on the credit cards from spending too much money in the past year or so. That kind of thing. And so your natural sense of self, which is this, finding your strength in having healthy boundaries in place with your people. Your natural sense of self and devotion involuntarily attracts, without you even trying, attracts luck and universal recognition. That people are going to respect you because you have placed these, somewhat restrictions and limitations on their movement and their behaviors. They're going to respect you for it's going to be fairly done, right? That you're going to do it in a way that I only accept this, I won't accept that. And they got to live by those rules because it's all about everybody winning as a result of them changing the way they're behaving. And you're ultimately changing your behavior because you've got rules. You've got boundaries now, right? That you didn't have before. And that's where everything was going awry. So now you're able to do that, and universal recognition. You're wise enough to know that the harder you work, the luckier you get. So just keep working on establishing your boundaries, even if you have to write it down. This is what I'll accept from you, and this is what I won't accept from you, and policing it, making sure that if they say, I'm going to go to work, but it might just be part-time, okay, let's find you a job, go to work part-time, and you're going to make sure that they're following through with that and showing up for work and doing what they're supposed to be doing, because the income's coming in, and then you're going to be applying it to their debt, which is your debt, but it's what they accumulated on your behalf. So guys, that's what we got for now. So it's not a yes within the next 30, 60, or 20 days. It's kind of like you're working towards that now, because you're going to be establishing something right now that's going to work for you and gain momentum in, sometime after 120 days from now. Okay? So take care of yourself, and best of luck with that. Please like and subscribe, and talk to you again. Bye.